You've also stopped sending supplies abroad. That's got you some bad press internationally because there were commitments. Now questions being asked about why those commitments are being reneged on. How do you view many Indians, you know, who say when it comes to terrorism, when it comes to the flag, when it comes to various other issues, we're very nationalistic. Suddenly when it comes to the vaccine, we believe that, you know, you want to have this big vaccine Maitri project and have the vaccine shipped elsewhere. It's a very tough question. How do you see this play itself out? Because most people who are watching you on India Today this moment will say, you know, yes, we love the rest of the world, Vasudev Kutumbakam and all of that, but let's just ensure that our most needy people get vaccinated first, which is what the rest of the world is doing. So no one can really blame India for being selfish or thinking of its interests first. That's just the way the entire world is playing itself out right now.
Absolutely. In fact, I don't blame the Indian people at all to expect all the vaccines to come to India first, because if you look at what's happened in Europe, Europe also has banned or temporarily suspended, so to speak. We've not banned exports. We have prioritized our country for the next 2 months. Whereas Europe, US, they've banned exports of raw materials and vaccines, which is impacting other vaccine producers. You know, I publicly said that the US needs to have a global perspective and, you know, not ban raw materials. They might as well be banning their vaccines from being exported, because by banning certain raw materials, companies like myself and many others will not be able to scale up to the extent that we would want to. Fortunately enough, the US ban of raw materials is not affecting Covishield, but it's going to affect Covavax, which is the Novavax candidate, which I'm hoping to start stockpiling from next week, you know, going on for another few months until licensure. So
let me put that question to you further and have you elaborate on when your second vaccine, because when I came to the Serum Institute facility, there were 2 sets of COVID vaccine that you're working on. Covishield is already out in the market. Covavax is the second vaccine that you're working on. What is the status of that vaccine at this moment? How soon will it be available for public consumption in India? And what is the difference between your second candidate and Covishield, about which we now know more?
So in January, I think when we had this discussion, we were applying to the regulator in India to start the bridging study of Covavax, just like what we did for Covishield. Similar size, bridging study with, you know, the vaccine arm and the other comparator and others. So to do an immunogenicity bridging study. Now, that went a little bit up and down and had some delays, you know, in getting the permission going and discussions that we were having, because we wanted to get it right. We didn't want to start a trial and then have issues. So that has finally now started, as I publicly announced, and hopefully by September, maybe October at the latest, we hope to get licensure in India. That's where we are at the moment. And we will start to stockpiling some vaccines like we did for Covishield ahead of time. To answer your second part, the efficacy, global efficacy trials of Novavax have shown 89% efficacy overall, and also good efficacy, and I don't know exactly how much, maybe 50 to 60% against, you know, the South African and the UK variants. Maybe a little bit better against the UK variant as well. But let me tell you, both Covavax and Covishield, at the cost of repetition, has more than 94 to 95% efficacy against hospitalizations. In fact, in some countries, it is 100% effective against hospitalizations, which again means to the layman that 100% of people who took the vaccine never had to set foot in a hospital when they contracted COVID disease.
Okay, so now the one big concern is about these mutations. We are hearing from authorities in Punjab that the UK strain has come there. You're based out of Mumbai and Pune. We're seeing a wild surge of cases across the state in Maharashtra, not just in Mumbai and Pune, but in more rural or semi-urban areas as well, or at least towns outside the mega cities. How concerned are you about the efficacy of Covishield against the new strains of the COVID virus?
So that study is ongoing in the sense that we're observing, as you mentioned, this UK variant, which has now started to really spread in our country. and we're already getting data of the people who have taken Covishield, 1 dose and now some of them 2 doses, who have got the UK variant, because you know with genomics you can tell whether it's the UK one, Wuhan, whatever. And I think if you ask me this question in a month, we would have a real picture of thousands of people who have got the contrived the UK variant disease, who have already been vaccinated and hopefully not had to enter hospitals.